All right. Hi, everyone. This is week 2 of IDT 801, and the topic of this week is expectations and processes, part 1, because apparently there are just so many expectations and processes and policies and rules and logistics that you have to follow being in academia that there's 2 weeks worth of processes to go over. So that should be exciting. So the purpose of this video is just to quickly outline what everything will be since we are having an asynchronous week. And the topics and agenda for the week will be to look at a Mimi. Then we're going to have some conversations and discussions as a class, and then wrap things up with some homework. Yay! So first, let's look at this meme. And basically, like, yeah, this holds true. I had this actually printed out and hung up in the cubicle where I worked when I was a PhD student at the University of Cincinnati. Because no matter what your plans, no matter how well you think you're doing, and if you think you're right on time, something will always come up. It will be a committee member, it will be some kind of major assignment coming due that just threw a wrench in everything, a grant opportunity that did not go your way, or whatever it might be. But the path to a PhD is never as straightforward as you think it will be. All right, so we have a couple of discussion board and kind of conversational group activities for the week. And I'll walk you through those in the Blackboard shell here momentarily. The first is for homework, you were supposed to read several documents. One of them was the advising and mentoring contract. And I want you to discuss these three things. One is, what is the role of the advisor in your academic growth and journey? 2, what is your role as a student and early career scholar in relation to your academic advisor? And 3, how do you think you can mitigate conflict and disagreements that arise? Because I promise you, you will have conflict and disagreement with your advisor and other colleagues. So the next section that I want you to look at is another discussion board prompt related to the IDT handbook. And with that, I want you to pick one journal from the field that might be relevant to your specific research interests. I've included several here from the field, and you're welcome to pick other ones as well, because with it being a PhD, oftentimes your work is interdisciplinary, so you might not see the journal listed here. Maybe you have a focus on special ed, for instance, then feel free to pick a journal that is related to your interest. And I want you to go through that journal's author guidelines and scope and report back what you learned. For the next prompt, I want you to ask me some questions. And basically, like, I know that going into a PhD program, you probably have a lot of questions about what it's like and what the experiences are. And I want you to be able to ask me anything at all. And I want you to feel comfortable asking whatever it might be, anything that's on your mind, and I'm going to answer them as truthfully as I can and as candidly as I can. So if you use this Google form and submit your questions, I am going to make a video that addresses every single question that you all ask me. And then I will post that to the course. Next, I want to do an APA check. This is something that we will look at the start of next week. And I just want you to look at this reference here. In this, all these slides are in the course on week 2 module. So don't feel pressure to figure it out right now, but what is wrong with this reference? Let's have a conversation about it at the beginning of class. So I'll tell you one thing, APA and all formats are sort of finicky. They all have their peculiarities and are sometimes super specific in the details. So I'm just trying to get you familiar with what some of those expectations are. And then I want to talk to you about your homework. This will be your first blog assignment, and I want you to write about what your understanding of the IDT program requirements are. So this should be a blog entry of about 500 words minimum. Granted that it might be a little less, it might be a little more. You just need to convey what your understanding is, and you will be submitting that as a Google document to Blackboard. So I'm going to now just go back to Blackboard and walk you through some of these areas that we spoke about. So we are here in week 2. Let me go ahead and turn edit mode off. And so I have links to everything that you're going to need. So if you're generating one research question, this will be your Google form. And you can just ask, you only require to ask one question, but I left room if you want to ask 3 or even more. Just go ahead and fill them out and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. I also have included a video where you will learn how to submit your blog reflection assignment as a Google Doc that we'll be using for all of the blog assignments for the semester and with the proper sharing settings so I can edit and comment on your documents. And for the discussion board assignments, there's a link in the side that says discussion board. Then it will say week 2 prompts, and this will change with every week that we have discussion board prompts. It will say whatever week it is. When you click on that, I have 2 threads. One is for the IDT handbook prompt, and the other is for the advising and mentoring contract prompts. So if you were to click on either of those, you'll see the exact same text that I had on the slides, and you can just reply and provide the information that you are going to include in your response. So that should cover everything. If you have any questions about the content, the assignments, the activities, or the expectations for the week, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you.